She got her own house. She got her own house. She got her own house.
Hey family, welcome back to my channel. So most of us parents will be receiving our first payment for the child tax credit starting tomorrow, and there are things that Naca will and will not let you do with that money. So let's talk about it. Hey family, so I know by now most of us have heard about the additional increase to the child tax credit under the American Rescue Plan, where it increased the child tax credit for kids 5 and under to $3,600, or from 6 to 17 to $3,000. And as part of this American Rescue Plan, we're going to now get half of that payment right now. So from July through December, you're going to either get $1,500 or $1,800 per child, depending on the age of your children that I just went over. So if you haven't already, go ahead and check out the IRS website. It gives you additional information about what to expect when you're going to get your first payment, which will be tomorrow. If you don't want your first payment or any payments at all, it tells you how to opt out. So go ahead and read up on it for yourself so that you'll know what to expect and what you're getting into. So the good news is if you've already filed your 2019 taxes, your 2020 taxes, or you went to the IRS portal to give them your information to get your stimulus check because you didn't make enough money to have to file taxes in either of those years, you don't need to do anything. You're automatically opted in. Also, on the flip side of that, if you don't want to receive these additional payments, like many of Americans, I know I personally decided to opt out because I'm in the process of actively looking for another job. And so if for some reason my income increases, I don't want to end up having to owe money when I file my taxes in February, okay? I know some people have opted out because they alternate when they claim their kids with their ex. And so they want to opt out because, yes, they claimed them last year, but when they file taxes this upcoming year, you know, they'll have to pay that money back because the other person or the other parent will be claiming that child. So definitely assess your personal situation before you just accept the money, because there will be ramifications potentially if you don't opt out or don't take any action and you have a special circumstance, okay? But they did make it super easy to opt out. So you have to opt out 3 days prior to the last Thursday of the month by 11:59 p.m. Eastern time. So obviously it's already too late to opt out. If you kind of let this slip past you, you're going to have to unfortunately get this check right now. But thankfully you can go ahead and opt out for the remaining or the remainder of the payments. And I'll flash it up on the screen of all of the dates that you will need to keep in mind to opt out of. You know, maybe you want to get this payment and then next month's payment because it's almost time for back to school, and that little extra money will help you with school clothes and stuff like that. So maybe you want to get the first 2 payments and then opt out after that. Totally fine. You can opt out whenever you want to. You can opt out completely like I did, partially, or just get all the money. One important thing to note, per the IRS website, if you opt out right now, you cannot re-enroll again until late September. So you will miss out on the first few payments by opting out now. Apparently there isn't a process yet to re-enroll, but it will be available at some time in the future. But just know that right now it will be a semi-permanent action if you choose to unenrolled or opt out of receiving the payments. So what does Naca think about this money that we're all about to get? So let's just go ahead and put this out here. This money is not considered income. So that means that it will not be counted towards payment shock. These are considered one-time lump sum deposits, even though we're going to be getting them on a monthly basis. Liken this to your income tax return or your stimulus checks, okay? So what that simply means is that if you have payment shock, you're going to get a deposit, a minimum of $250 per child into your account. At the end of the month, when your bank statement cuts, Naca is going to see that you got that $250 and they are going to deduct it, okay? So if you started out with $500 in your bank account and then you got that $250 deposit, and then you go on a spending spree because you think you got that extra $250 to cover it, wrong. So NACA is automatically going to subtract that $250 that you got in your bank account away, and so it's going to be just like you never put that $250 in there. It's going to like void itself out. So what came up on Facebook last week was that if you have payment shock, then this money, this $250, can only be used for emergencies or to pay off debt, okay? Emergencies could include new tires, doctor bill, something like that. You're still going to need to write a letter of explanation for it, which you're going to have to do anyway, because it is a one-time deposit. But just know that this money that you're about to receive, if you have payment shock, again, that's the differentiator. If you have payment shock, you cannot just spend it willy-nilly. So go ahead and just save that money, throw it in your savings account, or if you want to throw it at some debt, go ahead and do that as well. Or like I said, if you have been putting off maybe getting some new tires or something like that for your car, then feel free to go ahead and use that money for that. Now, if you don't have payment shock, that money is up to your discretion. Just make sure that you still have your surplus of $200 saved every month. You guys just watched my previous video where I got in trouble for not still saving that additional $200 every month. So don't be like me, be better than me. But you can still use this money to apply towards your minimum required funds and to pay off debt. But you just cannot use it to apply towards your payment shock. But any other part of the NACA process, buy down, all of that, yes, you can still use one-time deposits to go towards that. So like I said, guys, this is just like your stimulus checks, your tax returns. If you got an insurance payout or something like that, that's not a payroll deposit, then you can use, this is how NACA will allow you to use that money. But just be wise in your spending, guys. We are trying to all get homes. So the more that we can save, the easier the process is going to be for us. Don't take your foot off the gas like I did just because you get qualified. Someone in my comments last video made a really good point that I still should have been saving, because if for some reason, because I'm already month 3 into my qualification, which means that if I don't get under contract within the next 3 months, then I'm going to have to be resubmitted. And so because I hadn't been saving that additional $200 surplus up until that point, had I not had that counseling session when I did, to remind me to still be saving that extra $200, potentially I could have went for requalification and got not qualified conditions and have to wait an additional 3 months until I can prove that I can save that additional $200 surplus every month. So just keep saving as much as you can, guys. I just wanted to get on here with a quick video just to talk about this additional money that we're all finna get. I know that we all want to kind of breathe a little bit. It's so hard whenever we're counting every single penny that's coming in and out of our checking accounts. But let's stay diligent and know what you can and cannot do with that money that you are about to get. So I hope this video was helpful. Don't forget to give this video a thumbs up. Go ahead and subscribe if you haven't already, and jump down in the comments and talk about it. I'll see you guys in my next video. It takes a village. Cheers.